Hey guys, in this tutorial I'll show you how to create this beautiful landscape drawing in Procreate. It looks a little complicated, but you will be surprised how easy it is when I show you all the steps. So in this tutorial we'll use a few brushes. We'll use monoline brush, we'll use soft brush, and we will use a few brushes that I created specifically for this landscape, and I will leave the link in the description below so you can download them and use for your own project. I will link the eagle brushes and the tree brushes, a brush that we will use for this tutorial. So the first thing we have to do is to create a new layer. So we'll go to the gallery, we'll tap this little plus sign, and we will choose rectangular right here. And that's our canvas. So the first thing we will do, we'll create the layers of land. So we will go to color palette and we'll choose the first color in the second row, the dark purple. By the way, you can download this palette. I will leave the link in the description below, but you can also use your own colors. That's totally fine, and that might be actually fun. So if you're using my colors, choose the first dark purple in the second row. Make sure you're using the monoline brush, and we'll create a wobbly line that will come from this side of the canvas to this side of the canvas. So we'll go somewhere around here, and the line will go diagonally to somewhere here. Okay, so don't forget, the line has to be wobbly because we'll create the first layer of land, kind of like the cliff where we're standing and looking at the landscape. So we'll take the brush and we'll go a little, somewhere here, and we'll create a wobbly line, something like this. And color it. And that's the first layer of land. I'll just maybe fix it here just a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe not. Fill it. Yeah, this looks good. Don't forget, you can always go back and fix it however you like, but again, it's nature, so don't get too careful with it, because it's nature. It's like, the land is not perfect, it's not completely straight. So now we'll have to go to layer and name this layer, because I want to make sure we have all the layers named properly so we don't get confused later on. So we'll call it land 1, because that's the first layer of land that we have. So now we'll create a new layer and we will drag it underneath the first layer. We will rename it as well. We will call it land 2. Wow, what a surprise, right? Then we'll go to the color palette and we'll choose the second purple on the second row. Okay, and now we'll create the mountains here. So we'll again take the monoline brush and create a wobbly line. Okay, it's very easy. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We'll go a little up from the first layer, so somewhere here, and we'll create a wobbly line. We'll make some, make it a little smaller. Something like this. Maybe I'll just fix this part, because I don't like how down it goes. I'll also pick this one because it's a little too straight. I'll just add some wobbles because it's still a mountain. It's not so it has to have a peak, right? So I'll also maybe add a little bit right here. Kind of fill it. And here I will just erase a little bit of my mountain. I think it's a little too high. So I'll erase this part of the mountain. Just guess sometimes it takes a few tries to create the perfect landscape, the perfect mountain. So it's okay, take your time, create the perfect line. Yeah, we'll go with something like this. Now we'll go ahead and create a new layer and we'll drag it underneath the land 2 and we will call it, I hope you can guess by now, land 3. And we'll go ahead and grab this purple, the third purple and the second row, and we'll create one more wobbly line that goes from here, oops, from here down, go up and down. Make sure you go all the way, so when you just add a few wobbles to my line, color it, oops, color it. I just don't want my lines to be too smooth because it's still a mountain. Okay, perfect. Now we will create one more layer. We'll call it land 4 and drag it underneath all layers. Land 4. We'll go ahead to the color palette and we'll take this forest color right here. And now we'll create a mountain that comes from here, from this side of the canvas to here. So again, we will create a wobbly line. And it goes all the way here. Up. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and create a new layer, drag it underneath, and we'll call it land 5. Land 5. We'll go ahead and grab this color and we'll create a mountain that comes this way, from this side of the canvas to here. There we go. It adds a little color. So now create a new layer. We'll drag it underneath the layer 5 and we will call it land 6. So we have 6 layers of land and that would be the last layer. So we'll grab this last color in the second row and now we'll create a mountain. So we will create a large mountain. So we'll go this way. I'll try one more time. Here we go. This is a little too, I don't like this pick. This is a little too sharp. So I'll go ahead and fix it. I also don't like this part. Fix it as well. But that's all for the land. Now we'll create the sky. So we'll create a new layer. We'll call it sky. And we will grab this first color in the first row. And all we have to do is just color fill it. That's all. Very easy. Now we want to create a few layers of the sky. We want it to be not just one color, but have some highlights. And to do that, we'll take the soft brush. We want to make sure that we see this, the last mountains. We want to see them clearly, so we have to bring them up. So we'll go ahead and take the second color right here. We'll make sure the brush is, we'll go around 30%. And now what we'll do, we'll just add a little bit, maybe that's a little too much. Go 20. It's a pretty big brush. And just add some color behind the mountains. Just this very gentle touch. It's an airbrush. We'll just add a little bit of color. Like that. So we can see the mountains a little better. You see how they stand out now in the canvas? I'll make it a little bigger. It's because we added a little bit of color. which is nice. Just a little bit, very gentle motion. We don't want it to be too sharp. So now we'll go ahead and grab this color and we'll add a little bit to the sides, to the angle corners right here, just a little bit, because we want to make sure that we have the lightest part of the sky somewhere in the middle right here. So we'll add a little bit up here and a little bit here. Yeah, make sure you use this color. So now we have this beautiful sky. If you want to go back and fix it a little bit right here, go ahead, just create the line. I'll go ahead and add a little more behind the mountains. I'll make my brush smaller. Somewhere here so I can see them clearly. Just very gentle motion, very gentle brush. A bit to the corner, a bit more. I'll also probably add a bit to the corner of this color. Something like this. If you're not happy the way you blend it, you can always go to the adjustments and use Gaussian Blur. I'm okay with what I did here, so I guess I'll just leave it like this. But if you're not happy, you want to blend colors a little more, you can always go to the Gaussian Blur and apply it to make it smooth. So now we have to create the trees, okay? So we'll go ahead and grab purple, and we'll go ahead and grab the brush that I created for this tutorial. So the tree number 3. We'll create a new layer. We'll go on top of every layer and we'll call it tree 1, because we will have 2 trees, one here, and we don't want them both to be in one layer, because maybe we will go back and we just decided to get rid of one of the trees, so we'll make sure that the trees on different sides, layers, I'm sorry. So we'll go ahead and the brush, the first tree will be around 78%, I guess. We'll test it. So all we have to do is just tap to bring the tree. So the 78% is actually fine for the first tree, because it's a little closer to us, so we want to make it bigger. So this works works fine. I just might move a little down. Yeah, but this looks okay. Now we'll create the new layer. Oops. And we'll name it tree 2. We will go and grab the tree brush. We'll make it smaller. We'll go to around 55, I guess. We'll check. Always check. Now I'll go a little smaller. Maybe 50. Let's see if it goes down a little bit. Yeah, that's better. That works a lot better. You see, this one is bigger tree. This one is a little smaller because it's a little farther from us. I'll just go back to this tree and make it a little taller, I guess. Just a little taller. Yep, that works. That's all for the trees. So you almost have your landscape ready, and it's been what, 5 minutes? I don't know how many minutes. So now we'll have to create the moon. So we'll go ahead and create a new layer. We'll go on top of every layer right here, and we'll call it moon. We'll grab the monoline brush. We'll make it big, around 40, I guess. No, a little bigger. 60? Yeah, around 65. We'll also grab this first color in the third row and we'll create our moon somewhere here in between the trees. I'll probably make it a little bigger. What size is this? It's around 70, right? Okay, so we'll do 70. And all you have to do is just tap. And here's the moon. But we're not done with the moon because we want to fade it out a little bit to make it a little more interesting. So we'll go to the eraser. We will grab this soft brush. We'll make it a little bigger, around 15. And we will erase this part of the moon. Just a little bit, like this. Very gentle motion. Make it a little smaller, around 10. And just fade one part of the moon, like this. You see? It looks nice, it looks interesting, so just fade it out a little bit so we don't have this harsh line right here. I'll also make it a little smaller. Something like this. So this way it looks a little more interesting. You add some detail. So now when you're happy with your moon, we will create the clouds. So we'll go ahead, create a new layer. We'll call it clouds. We'll grab this second color in the third row, and now we're not going to draw, but we will use the select tool to create our clouds. So go ahead, press select. Make sure that you have this freehand selected here and color fill right here at the very bottom. That way when we select something, it will color fill with the color we just chose. So what we have to do is just create the lines, okay? The clouds that are very easy clouds. So how can we do it? So we'll take the brush and we'll create the wobbly line and go down a little bit and connect it, and that's all. That's how your cloud works. Now we'll create one more here, so the wobbly line, and we'll create one more from this side. Here we go. Now we have to move our clouds onto the trees because the clouds are behind the trees. I'm not happy with this cloud, so I'll go take a eraser. I'll erase this cloud. So I'm not happy with this, and I'll do it one more time. That looks a little better. I will also fix this one because I'm not happy with this. Let's see. I like this a little better. I'll also make this one a little smoother because I guess I'm used to drawing the mountains and I forgot how to create clouds. So I'll go make my lines a little smoother. Yeah, that works better. Now, we are not done with the clouds either. So now we'll take a eraser. We'll make sure we're using the soft brush. We'll make it a little bigger, around 10. And we will fade out from this side. It's also fading out the clouds to make them a little more interesting. You can still see them, but not as obvious because it's a night sky. So, I mean, the clouds shouldn't be too obvious. So we'll just fade them from some sides, like this. You see, that looks a little more interesting, right? So now all we have to do is just add some stars and add some birds. So the first thing we'll do, we'll add the birds. So we'll go ahead and create a new layer and we will call it birds. Birds. Cool. We'll choose this color right here, the second purple. We'll go ahead to the brushes and we'll grab any of the eagles you want, and now you can play around and add. I don't have the specific order how to create the birds. You can just take any bird right here. I'll have this 3, eagle number 4, eagle number 1, eagle number 5, and you can use all of them at the same time, or you can use just one of them. It doesn't matter. Just keep in mind that they shouldn't be too big, you know, because they're far away. They're just flying. So some of them can be a little closer to you, and some of them will be a little farther away from you. So make sure you're kind of using different size for the birds. I'll use this one. A little too small. I'll add the small one here, and maybe one here. I'll make it a little bigger, and I'll add one bird here. Make it a little bigger. Maybe a little more. Yeah, that's good. I'll just add one more bird. Over here, I guess. Because they're not flying in any orders, specific orders. They're just flying. You know, those are they're birds. Cool. Now I will go ahead and create a new layer on top of every layer that I have, and I'll create stars. So I'll name it stars. I'll grab white, and I'll also grab the monoline brush. I'll make it very, very small. And all we have to do is just create some dots. We don't want to create any stars in a star shape, so we'll create just little dots that will be our stars. So we'll just put them everywhere and there. I'll just make some bigger and some smaller so they don't look the same, because you know, there are some bigger, some smaller stars. Make a little bigger and add bigger stars right here. It's a starry night, so you can add more, you can add less. It's completely up to you and however you like. And that's actually all for this tutorial. We have created this beautiful landscape together in a few steps. And I'm sure you thought it would be complicated, but it turned out to be a lot easier than you thought. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope I will see you in the next one.